So welcome friends, this is me Amna making it under tutorial for explainwithexamples.com, and like all other tutorials we'll be explaining with examples every small concept. So in today's tutorial for PHP we'll be learning what PHP actually means as a server-side scripting language. Well, before that, just let me explain what actually happens when a user puts inside the browser any request for a resource. So he puts in the URL basically such kind of a request. The request is nothing but the resources which you would want to see. So let's look at a practical example. So I put inside Google Chrome, so this Google Chrome becomes my user agent, and Chrome as a user agent will then send across my request to Apache, and then Apache understands that I need to serve facebook.com. That combined with the agent headers, the agent has its own headers that combined with the request forms the request in totality. Now this thing is then taken by Apache, and then it goes to the server wherever his Facebook is located. Then it brings back certain server codes, that is like if the server connection is properly established, server code will be 200. It also brings back content like from the site combined with the headers. I mean, initially it will be the headers, like the headers maybe like of what the document is, I mean comprising of, maybe text, HTML or whatever, what is the zip format, what is the language it's in, and then the content and everything. Now when it brings content from the server, obviously the scripts will be some in HTML, some in PHP, some in JavaScript. So some of the scripts get compiled on the server and some of them get compiled on the client, that's the user agent, that's the browser itself. If I just do a view page source of this page, Facebook, you will see that it gives way to all the markup. You can see here it's HTML, then it's head, then basically the head section which goes up till some point of time, and then maybe at some point body will come, and oh god, they have a messed up code, Facebook, trust me. See whether this one is good. This is Rediff for India, so let me just look here. Once this logs in, maybe it will give me a easier way to demonstrate what I mean. So once the page loads, basically this all are documents comprising of elements like, this are like small iframes, paragraphs, links and all that. So let's look at view page source, and when I look at the page source, there you go, it's beautiful. I can see that it comprises of well distinguished markup segments, like the HTML is comprising of head section, and then let me see, there will be body somewhere. I can do one thing, I'll just find it here, body. So there you go, their head ends and here body starts. So inside the body, div indicates that these are small containers, and obviously we have given them certain IDs so that we can later target them using CSS or JavaScript or all that. But the point I'm trying to drive home is all this is visible in the client itself. The client doesn't need any server for compiling this kind of HTML markup or JavaScript markup. You can see all JavaScript when you see like var and all this. These are basically variables, and this is all JavaScript going on here. Then this like markup, this is all HTML going on here. So all this can be seen using view page source, and which indicates that all these languages are compiled and rendered both at the client side, that's the browser side. But what about PHP? Well, PHP is not that. Here, like inside Notepad++, I have just written a small bit of snippet in the small break which we took. So what I have done is I have just defined a small skeletal framework for HTML document. I have declared it to be HTML5 document, and I have just written a small markup. That's just I am defining the marking the document with a paragraph element and the how are you, and I'm echoing using PHP hello world. So let's see how this renders out. I will just save this document, and this is presently stored in PHP coding basic series. So we'll just establish a connection with localhost, that's I'm hosting locally my uh, resources, and this is PHP coding basic series. So you can see how are you hello world comes rightfully so, because if you actually see, we have the markup here, the paragraph element how are you. So here's how are you, and here with PHP I'm trying to display on screen hello world, so that comes. But if I look at the view page source, uh, I don't see any PHP code out here, but I see everything that I have written in HTML. So that clearly indicates that the HTML is being rendered by the browser, whereas this hello world is being compiled by Apache on my server, that's local, that's on the local PC. So this is how PHP is basically A server-side scripting language. The script written in PHP gets compiled in the server, not in with the browser, not with Google Chrome. It can be Google Chrome browser, it can be Mozilla Firefox, it can be Internet Explorer, but at the end, all those languages get compiled and rendered on the browser. I mean, this HTML, JavaScript, and all that. Whereas PHP gets compiled on the server. So you will always want to validate using such languages which get compiled on the server, because that way you risk you don't risk, I mean, showing the validation for everybody to see on the net. I mean, if you validate something using JavaScript or something, you see, if I do a view page source, everything is, the entire logic can be seen here, so it's never preferable to do that. I hope today's tutorial helps you understand what server-side scripting means and what the client side compiling means. Client obviously means the browser, so I hope everything is now a bit clear. Until next time, it's me, Amnan, signing off for the day. Thank you.